how's it going, YouTube? My name is Mikey, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I would like to talk about, my Zelda experience, or at least the experiences that I had playing Zelda games. And I want to start off, talking about like little each Ocarina of Time, or just Mask, Wind Waker. Talking about little bits about what I thought about the game and why I think they're actually so great. First off, Ocarina of Time, I think I also talked about my last video, but I'm going to do like a little bit a review talking about it again. Ocarina of Time, I guess I just praised it so much since it was my first Zelda game that I ever played, and it just brings up so much nostalgic. It's nostalgic more than anything else, and that's why I guess I really praise it. But the graphics were good, the soundtrack was good, the story was good, and as for the puzzles and everything, well, it was a linear game. As a Zelda, it's a very linear Zelda game. It was like you enter the puzzle. It was like, oh, you already know what to do, but then that's when Majora's Mask came out and did a little bit better in that aspect. But Ocarina of Time was good, and it is a really great game. Now, when Majora's Mask came out, I believe 2 years after that, it was the same graphics, same everything, but just well, not same everything, but as like graphics, and that's basically it. And characters, they even used redid some of the characters were used again for Majora's Mask, and it was just all they thought about was there wasn't much they had to change. Basically, they just had to think of a new story and new companion, new things to do. And Majora's Mask was then, it's also a really great game. And as for why it's a really great game, it knows how to tell its story. It was like, little by little, you could, from the beginning to go from, well, as you progressed, then you could go to anywhere you want. But it's good. The story on Majora's Mask, and there's a lot of really nice messages, such as like, when like living on the your final day or your final days of Earth, it was just like, oh man, it was just really deep, really sad, and for that, I don't know, it just Majora's Mask is a really great game as well. Moving on to Wind Waker. Wind Waker, well, I don't know. I can't. I don't want to say it's my least favorite Zelda game, and I know that a lot of people are gonna be really disagreeing with me, but it's not that I'm hating on Wind Waker, but it would be from, if I had to choose any Zelda game to start, probably Wind Waker would be from like one of the below from all the other games. Twilight Princess would be like high, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. But if I had like all these Zelda games, I was like, well, which one of them do I want to replay? I'd probably replay Wind Waker less. I enjoyed Wind Waker. I played it, I beat it, but after that, I just never really touched it again. And the reason why, I don't know, I just didn't, I couldn't really get into Wind Waker that much, but it was also really good. I think it's the water and the boat. The time it took to go to island, it was just really annoying for me. And I think that's just what annoyed me out. But taking out that water aspect of it, which almost takes the whole part of the game, right? Because that was the main thing about it was about the boat and traveling that way. But it was just too long. It took you 10-15 minutes to get to every place. And I think that what annoyed me the most. And I was like, oh, you know what, I just want to be done. Don't get me wrong, I was also really enjoying the story, and the fight with Ganon, which is really epic for me. It was also really good. There were some really good fights. There were really good combats, although it was really easy, and all those other games combat-wise, they're easy. But they were pretty creative in the last part of Wind Waker. It was nice. Twilight Princess, I completely love that game. The soundtrack and the story onto it, especially Lilith's Lament, Zelda's Lullaby, I was about to say? No, Midna's Lament, sorry, was really good. When she's like ill, you're taking her to the castle. I really love that part. It's just like, there was like a couple of parts like where I felt like really, a game that gets you like, you're getting a little bit too connected to the characters, and you're feeling something for the characters, means a lot. and as soon as you feel that for a game, you know it's a really good game. And not a lot of games, nowadays you feel that. I Although, well, I know there was a God of War. There's been The Last of Us. There's been games, right, but in Zelda, when you have these type of things, it's a little different. Each game has that own different experience. But in Twilight Princess, I completely loved it. The soundtrack with it, and it's unique story, not too unique, but still pretty good. I completely loved. And then Breath of the Wild. Well, and I guess I'm kind of skipping a couple of them, but Breath of the Wild was, really good as well. I felt like I could do anything, and you could do anything in that game. You want to climb that mountain, you could climb it. You could there's no limit to that game what you can do. And I guess that's what made it, really good and 10 out of 10. But of course, it lacked the temples and the soundtrack. It's one of the worst soundtracks of Zelda game I ever played. And I know that a lot of people are gonna be like, oh man, it's like really, but don't get me wrong. There's also good soundtracks in Breath of the Wild, like the soundtrack where there's a guardian, that anxiety soundtrack is pretty good. The soundtrack when you enter Ganon's castle, that one's also really good. But if they could have kept up with it, I know that Nintendo was more focused on graphic wise and combat and the things to do, because that game is huge, and the amount they had to make that game, they were more focused on doing that than actual other little things. But now if they, I have a little more faith on the next Zelda game. Not that I did not like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was great. But now mixing it, having Breath of the Wild, imagine picturing Breath of the Wild now, like having it mixed like with Twilight Princess, and the same graphics and the same like things that you could just go anywhere as Breath of the Wild. It would be amazing. Now that would be like masterpiece, and that would be like just something that we all be looking forward to. But all the games that I played were really good nonetheless. I really enjoyed my experience with Zelda games. And well, I guess that's pretty much it. It's kind of like like really that's all you have to say. By this point, I don't know really what to say. So this was kind of like the best thing I could come up with. Not the best, but uploading something every day, or a little video, or saying something. Of course, the main point of this is for me to lose the anxiety, or lose the being social awkward, and being like more connected. Recording myself. So this is what I just thought about on top of my head. Talk about Zelda, my experiences, and I hope you liked it. If you watched the video up to this point to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Thank you. Oh, and actually, I forgot. I want to point out the previous video that I did about happiness. I know it was kind of deep and it was sad. Not kind of. It was. I was pretty serious. No, not. I just want to point out that not all my videos are gonna be like that. And actually, that was like I was just a bit down that day, and I don't know. I got the camera. I was like, oh, happiness. I was like, yeah, if you don't accept it, you can't be happy. I was just blabbering. Please excuse that video, but yeah, I guess I just wanted to do it anyways. But no, I'm gonna be much more of a positive person, and do these type of videos, not what I did in my last one. So just wanted to point that out there, and say that. Anyways, yeah, that was it. Thank you guys.